Well, those sound like really fun games. I know Blindfold Pictionary was pretty fun, but we realized trying to interpret that stuff while we're drawing blindfolded, that was pretty tough. It was hard to interpret what we were drawing. But in our Bible story today, we're actually learning about someone who had to interpret something that was written by God. It's pretty cool. So let's go to our Bible breakdown with Matt.
Our story begins way before Jesus, with Daniel, a Jewish man devoted to the one true God, living in exile in the city of Babylon. Daniel is far from his home city of Jerusalem, but he has remained faithful and loyal to God regardless of his circumstances. Daniel understood what you and I need to understand and live out every day, that we should stand up for what's right because God's got us. That's right, God's got you. Whatever difficult thing you're going through in your life, you can trust God to help you with it. Daniel went through some crazy difficult things in his life, but he always knew that God would be with him. God had his back. In fact, God gave Daniel so much favor that he actually became one of the top advisors to the king of Babylon, King Nebuchadnezzar. Well, after many years, Nebuchadnezzar dies and his son Belshazzar takes over as king. Now, Nebuchadnezzar wasn't exactly a good guy, but his son Belshazzar seems to be worse. At least Nebuchadnezzar acknowledged that Daniel's God, the one true God, was the ultimate king of the universe. But Belshazzar is way more reckless and foolish. One night, Belshazzar throws this massive party in the palace, but he wants everyone to eat and drink with like special cups and plates for some reason. So he takes all the golden cups and plates that his father took from the Jewish temple in Jerusalem, and he celebrates with those. Now, these were sacred cups and plates that were supposed to be used to honor God. Instead, Belshazzar is using them for a crazy party, and he's actually giving praise and honor to made-up gods like the gods of gold and the gods of silver. Well, the one true God is not happy about this, so here's what happens. During the party, Belshazzar looks over at one of the palace walls, and he freaks out because he sees this hand, like just a hand, I don't know, floating in the air like some ghost hand. Then this ghost hand starts writing words on the wall that everyone can see, but nobody can read. Then the hand disappears, but the words remain. Belshazzar wants to know what the writing on the wall says and what it means. Well, luckily, his mother remembers how Daniel served his father Nebuchadnezzar. If anyone can help solve this amazing mystery, it's Daniel. So Daniel enters the palace and gives Belshazzar some really bad news. But Daniel was brave enough to do it because he knew God would back him up. Actually, it was God who had the writing put on the wall. Daniel told Belshazzar that God was not pleased with him. Belshazzar was arrogant and cruel, and even disrespected God by using the sacred cups and plates from the temple. The writing on the wall literally said, "Your days are numbered. God has measured your life and found you lacking in any goodness, and now a new kingdom will rule instead of yours." Wow. So God was letting Belshazzar know that his time as king, it was up. That a new king and even a new empire was going to come in and take over. Whew, that's rough news, but Daniel was bold enough to share it. Daniel stood up for what's right because he knew, hey, God's got me. He's taken care of me this whole time I've lived in Babylon, and he's going to keep taking care of me now, even if I have to share some bad news with a wicked king. And I'm not sure if that wicked king even listened to Daniel or even believed him. The Bible says that he rewarded Daniel for interpreting the writing on the wall, and then maybe he just kept on partying. I mean, either way, I don't think he was humble before God. And that very night, the Medo-Persian Empire snuck into Babylon and took over the city, and they assassinated King Belshazzar. Just like God said, Belshazzar's time was up. Now a new kingdom reigned instead. And Daniel? Well, God continued to have Daniel's back. He gave Daniel favor with the new empire and its new king, King Darius. Daniel is a great example for us to follow. Whether in your home, at your school, or with your friends, you're going to have to stand up and do what's right, just like Daniel did. And God is always there with you when you do. Trust me, guys, just like God had Daniel's back, God's got yours. God's got you.
Yeah, that was a crazy Bible story, but Daniel did the right thing and trusted God because he knew that God had his back. And God's got your back too. So right now in our groups, let's talk about that. Have a great week, and remember, God's got you.